Good morning. So I am going to introduce you to a plant. It's actually a shrub. So it's you could mistake it for a tree, but it's actually a shrub. And this is the elderberry bush. So um, this is growing not right near water, so the leaves are a little bit dry, but it's got lots of beautiful berries on it. You can see, I feel like I'm like in the bushes, but because of the angle of the sun, um, and I'm a little bit on a sloping hill, it's kind of difficult to get um, a good footage and like not be in the bushes. So I'm not always in the bushes, guys, okay? So here, it's beautiful. This is a beautiful plant. And I wanted to say I'm about to move camp, and I wanted to get this footage. So forgive me if it's a little bit like it's a little um, not put together. Um, but I felt like it was so much more important to introduce you to this plant. I have known this plant, of course, for a while because I'm an herbalist, but just like up close and in person, I'm really getting to know it even better, which is awesome. I personally have uh, a deep spiritual connection to this plant via my spiritual tradition. Um, but just in general, um, uh, it's just a great plant, for healing and for sickness. It's great for colds and flus, um, and that may be why you are familiar with it. Um, and it's funny how this plant made itself known to me. This particular trip that I've been out camping, a young person that I met uh, was wanting to know if this was elderberry, and they didn't know how to identify it. And so I said, well, I think, I do, I'm pretty sure I could help you identify it, right? So one of the ways that you identify it is you see it has these dark let me get my snip. It has these beautiful blueberries, and these berries are what you dry. So you want to boil these um before you eat them, boil them down, and I will cover a little bit more in depth. Right now, I just want you, in another video, but I want you to see what it looks like, okay? You see? But you boil these down and you can make a syrup, and that syrup is used for colds and flus, coughs. It's called Sambucus. The scientific name is Sambucus nigra, Nigra, and or you can dry these and store them for future use. Um, the way that you identify it is it has when you harvest or take from a plant, you want to try and use snips so you don't bruise the plant or harm it in any way, destroy it. You want to like be as gentle as possible with it. So elderberry has these serrated edges on the leaves. Also, the leaves are opposite, and then it's going to have an uneven number. So it's got 6 and then 7 leaves on it. And then when you break the stem, I'm going to harvest some of these and take some home. So really thanking the plant for its medicine, invaluable. You see it has a white pith. Can you see that white pith in the center? That's another way that you identify this. So I also have read that red elderberry has the serrated notches like all the way to the end of the leaf tip, and blue elderberry does not. And I'm having a little bit of trouble identifying whether this is blue or red. So I'm probably going to take this back and have some of my herby friends powwow about this and give me a little bit more information. And I will come back and we'll do some more plant identification, like botany style video to get a little bit more in depth of whether or not it's red or blue. I think it's blue, but we will see. Okay, the other thing I wanted to say is another reason I was like, I gotta do this video because something is saying, like, do the video. Because I went into town and I ran into another young kid who was not feeling well. And I said, let me see what I have like in my pantry to give you, because I thought I might have some tinctures or whatever, but it's like the middle of the summer and I don't really get sick so so much, especially in the middle of the summer, knock on wood. And I didn't have, ended up giving him some like bone broth and some vitamin C, but he was like, do you have any elderberry? And I was like, no, I don't have any elderberry. But it would have, if he'd known just like how to identify elderberry, he could have gone out and gotten himself some for free, because he was busking and he really didn't have, he was trying to put together some money to get some medicine for while he was, to get some supplies. Anyway, so I was like, we need to be able to know how to go out and like find some medicine, because it's out there, right? But you also don't want to make a situation worse by getting the wrong thing. Okay, so you see, and here we have, it's behind me. It's kind of like a medium height shrub. It grows, I don't know, like definitely about 8 feet, 9 feet. So I'm about 5'2" or 5'3", and it kind of towers over me by 3 or 4 feet. Okay, the taller ones. When I stand up, this bush probably is, I don't know, about 5 feet. But there are other in the area that are taller. Okay, so I wanted to just read to you this, because not only does it have these really beautiful healing properties, it's been known to have really deep spiritual properties. Okay, so this, I'm going to read you from The Spirit of Herbs, the Herbal Tarot, by a pioneer in the herbal community. His name is Michael Tierra, and it's also with his wife. I believe this is his wife, Candace Canton, but I'm not sure. But the two authors are Michael Tierra and Candace Canton. So I did mention it makes you sweat, so that's why it's so good in flus and colds. So it's a diaphoretic. That's called a diaphoretic when it makes you sweat. But it also is an astringent, so it's good to tone the skin, so skin tightening. Okay, so you can use it for for like your skin, to like in like a toner. Okay, and we prepare it in like a syrup. You can also make a tea with it. So okay, it says spiritual properties. The elderberry bush has for thousands of years been venerated by people of many parts of the world for its magical and medicinal properties. In lore and legend, it is an emblem of sorrow and death, because old traditions held the idea that the cross of Calvary was made of a giant elder tree. From that time, the story goes, the elder was never able to grow into a tree, but forever remained a bush. In Europe, the elder was trimmed into the shape of a cross and planted on new graves. If it blossomed, the soul of the deceased person was believed to be happy. In pre-Christian Northern Europe, the elder was intimately connected to magic, and it is said that the magic wands were fashioned from the elder branches. The herb helps to allow the death of the old to be transmuted into the new rebirth of self. So it's like associated with transition and transformation. And also it is acts as a guardian spirit during the metamorphosis and brings ease as the transition occurs. Um, it also has this plant in particular doesn't have any of the flowers on it right now, but they're like beautiful white little tiny flowers. And you know, you see how like there's all these berries. So before the berries, just imagine if it was like all these little tiny white flowers and kind of like umbral shaped um, form. They have a light, beautiful, very light floral smell to them. So you definitely want to look for that in your identification. But this doesn't have it. When I first got here, the plants did have flowers, but they have kind of died back because all the berries are coming now. So um, yeah, so that's that. I hope that you can really get a good look at this plant. And I hope, if you're wondering if it's growing in your area and you go out and you see something like this, like, do your identification, your due diligence. But it's an incredible plant to work with. In my tradition, Sanse, and the Afro-Caribbean tradition of Sanse and 21 divisions, um, we do work with this plant on a spiritual level, and we do like keep a branch of it. So I will definitely be harvesting my branch, and looking forward to bringing you some more information. Like, I'm sure I forgot something and I'll need to do a follow-up video about this. But anyway, until then, enjoy and have a good day.